What is that lemon tree doing here? Oh, that showed up yesterday. I like it. Who put it there? Someone who likes lemons, I guess. And so it went over the days that followed as people passed by this potted lemon tree just inside the lobby of a building where thousands of people walked through each day. And if you reviewed this lemon tree's social media stats at the end of 2 days, you'd see 1,330 likes, 474 loves, 120 wows, 57 sads, and one angry from the dude who stumbled over it when he was walking while texting. At the end of week 1, the tree was starting to wilt. By week 2, it had lost all its fruit to the floor for the janitor to toss out. After a month, it looked as juicy and inviting as a dead stick someone stuck into a bucket. Soon after, what remained was yanked out and discarded, leaving only a display of potted dirt that no one liked. I'm about to say something obvious. Lemon trees need more than likes. Even a standing ovation isn't going to keep them healthy enough to bear fruit. And there's a certain tragedy when their fruit goes to waste rather than finding its way into lemon pies, lemon slices, or lemonade. And then there's this. There are people you know where their art, the fruit of their heart, needs more than likes too. Over the past week, I've asked 5 kindred artists how they would feel if a song or blog post or painting or podcast episode got 1,000 likes, but no deeper engagement. All said they would hate that. I would too. When we look at the people most think of as, quote, artists these days, their outward success is measured by their number of fans and followers or copies sold, where impact is measured by numbers and dollars. That doesn't work for me or for people with a similar emotional heart orientation. Like the lemon tree, we need other kinds of care. Let's start with the lemon tree. After a Google search, I was struck by how much care it needs when located inside in a pot. It needs plenty of direct sunlight, 8 to 12 hours a day, but not too much artificial light. Slightly acidic soil, a big pot, 15 gallons or more with adequate drainage. It needs water, but not too much or too little, and the right pH, moist but not soggy. Airflow, but not hot air vents or cold drafts. Fertilizer every 3 to 6 weeks. Mild pruning. You got to clear the bugs and cobwebs quickly. Humidity of at least 50%. Temperature of 70 and no lower than 55 at night with no cold drafts. And you get to hand pollinate with a paintbrush once a day when it's flowering. Got to prune the roots if they stop producing, and wait until they are 3 to 5 years old to expect fruit. Wow, and you thought you were high maintenance, eh? People do all this for their lemon trees. Why? As Gardenista wrote, the reward is exquisite and engages all our senses. Being able to smell citrus blossoms in your own home in the winter, and to pick and eat fragrant leaves and ripe fruit from your very own tree. Now, let's consider art and the variety of needs of the artists. I invite you right now to think about a non-famous person whose art you personally enjoy. You want them to keep going, doing their thing, and growing their art. This could be anyone expressing themselves in any way in the world where the impact is wanted by you. Do you know what they specifically need in order to keep engaging and sharing their art. I want to stop here and make sure that it's clear that art encompasses everything and anything that expresses human imagination and emotional power. The writer, dancer, singer, poet, programmer, craftsperson, decorator, space holder, teacher, body worker, musician, listener, celebrator, volunteer, painter, dog groomer, dear friend, nature guide, athlete, gardener, storyteller. I could go on and on. All are artists. Chances are you are too. We're artists expressing our artistry, the fruit of our heart's expression, and we need certain conditions and nourishments to keep doing it. What are those conditions? They vary. So how do you find out what an artist needs? You ask. And you may need to explore with them because, well, most artists are not as clear about what they need as they are about what they want to creatively express. Here are some ideas. What would they like to hear from you about how you truly feel about their art? Share how what they do and who they are enhances your emotional world. Has it had an impact on your life? Describe that to them. How does their expression of art in the world support you in expressing your own art? Does their art raise questions that you are now deeply considering? Going back to the insufficiency of 1,000 social media likes, for me, when I share from my heart, it feels essential that I get back a few deep and personal responses. Most of the time, I do. I'm really fortunate. But I don't always. And when I don't, there's a flatness that I must then overcome in order to continue my art. Not every artist feels this way. I do. With that in mind, you're invited right now to consider the possibility that an artist who you would hate to see quit is needing more emotional nourishment. Are you willing to find out what would actually be helpful to them? To find a way that is a yes for you to be generous into their emotional world and even become an active part of their support circle. It's a potent and worthy way to make the emotional world a more beautiful place. Until next time, I'm Rick at Thriving Now, and I would find it wonderfully nourishing right now to hear about the artist you chose and what you discover they would like to feel more supported in. If you're an artist at heart and you're aware of what you need to feel sustainably nourished, I want to hear that too. Please email me at rick@emotionalfreedom.love or visit emotionalfreedom.love and leave a comment. Thanks for listening.